both.
All right. Hello, hello. We are doing the project we said we would do 2 weeks ago.
Last week.
Last week we didn't go live because we were setting up for the yard sale and it was a little crazy in here. So this is a continuation from 2 weeks ago where we're going to make a little cover, like a hardcover to insert our little booklets. So we remember we did this when we decorated it with Minte Blossom Serenity and added like kind of like a mixed media, not mixed media, more of a junk journal kind of a feel to it. So we did start, remember we started with this and then we added our papers and embellishments and all of that fun stuff. So today we're going to build a cover to slide this in. So that should be fun. I've been thinking about it for almost 2 weeks now and literally just sat down and worked it out an hour ago. But you know, so we are if you are to create this, you will need one piece of chipboard that is 12 by 12 and you're going to cut it into I guess I should bring this maybe a little bit closer, you can see it.
Now you can see what you're doing.
Now I can see what I'm doing. So one piece of chipboard, you're going to cut it at 8.5 inches, and then you're going to cut it at 5 3/4 and 5 3/4, and then the spine is literally the little leftover 1/2 inch piece from that. So you're literally at what? If you had an 8.5 by 12 inch piece of chipboard, that would work. Okay. So I have added some score tape or score-like tape on the back. I found a roll of it's Couture Creations tape, so it's okay tape. So, but the tricky part was because of the size, we have a phone in here. I have to join my wrap. So that my wrap joins on the spine, I cut it.
Push forward a little bit. There you go.
There?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to join together my wrap first. So my wrap, I took 2 pieces of this pretty Simple Stories. Do you remember what color it is?
Was daffodil? Buttercup.
Buttercup.
One of those.
Buttercup.
Daffodil would work also.
All right. So I took 2 of the Buttercup and because I needed 2 pieces that are 7 by 10. Hello, hello. I probably should have waited a few seconds before I just like jumped into this project. For those of you that are just joining us, we are making a cover for our little junk journal that we made a couple weeks ago. So just going to repeat that. And then I'm going to, those are the chipboard covers that I cut already, and then my wrap. So now for my wrap, I'm going to join it together, and I didn't bring my little pokey tool. So I can use the scissors. Not very well. You do want to make sure to burnish your tape down nice, and I just used a 1/4 inch tape. This one is, I would prefer to use score tape, but I couldn't find score tape open, so I'm using some from Couture Creations, which will work just fine. Sam found my pokey tweezers. Yay.
Favorite tweezers.
Favorite tweezers are only available in the Tim Holtz flower making kit. All right, so you're going to get it started, and you're going to bend it back so you have a little tail. And then I'm going to take and lay this, my second piece, which is also 7 by 10, and we're going to lay it so that it just overlaps that 1/4 inch as close as possible. So now I can hold that in place. I can pull my tail and do a little bit at a time so that, and stay as straight as possible. But this way, I know that I'm pretty lined up. So, what do you?
I just wasn't wearing it. So.
You weren't wearing your microphone, so, and you're not sitting by it, so you're like, oh, I better pick it up in case I have a question to ask. All right.
Look, now
so
you have
now,
a sheet of paper that's longer than 12 inches.
Correct.
Wow.
All right. And if you look on the back side, you'll see a fine line there, but it's going to be right on our spine, so we should be good.
You can cover it up easily.
You could cover it up with some ribbon. That would be super cute. You might have to go out and grab some.
Okay.
So I just
Let
there.
me do that real quick.
It needs to be on the narrow side. My spine is no more than 1/2 inch. All right, so now my piece of paper is just under 14 inches by 10. All right, and so now from this, we're going to go ahead and lay out our chipboard covers that we're going to wrap. So remember I said my chipboard covers were 5 3/4 by 8 1/2, and so I am just going to kind of center it because I want my spine to be over that center there, and you're going to leave about 1/8 inch between the two pieces of chipboard so that they bend and doesn't crack your paper. So then I would lay this one out here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and attach them, but this is kind of like how it would be laid out. And you see how you can see the yellow between my spine pieces? Okay, so I am going to, you know what, I'm going to start with my spine piece just because I want to make sure that it is literally on that center. And of course, it's going to give me trouble here. There it goes. So, yeah. So, how is everyone's week going? We had a fabulous weekend with our treasure sale. If you missed it, missed a good sale this time. So I'm going to lay that about like so. Push it just a little further. There. All right, and there again, I'm going to do a good burnish so that that tape really adheres. I do have my glue out. There are two way of thinking. Some people add glue so they can still slide it around. I feel like if you put glue on it, it covers up and dries like over the tape, so the tape really isn't of any use for you then. So that's why I don't like to put my glue over my tape, because it's kind of like a gesso or a primer. Like it covers it up. The tape isn't going to come through. If I were to paint on some glue onto my tape, let it dry, the tape is not going to be sticky, right? That's my thinking. But if you want to use both, go for it. I'll sell you more adhesive. But because I do have some space in between, I am going to add just a little bit of glue, just so that I don't get any puckers. So, all right, and then I'm going to lay this down. I feel like I am pretty straight there. If you wanted to make yourself a little guide, you could take 2 pieces of scrap chipboard that are the same weight and line them up and then stick them in between. So you want at least the chipboard width in there. 2 would be ideal. Oh, she brought choices. So
I know how much you love choices.
some days, some days not. So
I really wanted a lace, but the only lace we have by the yard is
too wide. Mm.
But it would be really pretty.
I'm like, this is not coming off. So, like, what else can we chat about here? How's the weather everywhere? I know here it's nice and warm and warm. It's nice, but it is a little warmer than we like. So, you know, it's a good thing I put this down when I did. This would take even longer if I couldn't get this up. I don't know, Sam. This tape is pretty sticky. All right. So there again, we're going to just add some glue in between my tape. And then we're going to line this up. And there again, we're going to try and make sure we're as straight as possible.
Did you mention the tool that you can get for that?
Oh, I did not. There is one, and I don't know where mine is. But it is from We Are Memory Keepers. They do have a little book or journal guide that will help you miter your corners. Will give you, make sure that you get the right space between your covers.
I would go look for it, but I think you're going to jump ahead before I find it.
Yeah. All right. So from here, then I like to kind of get my book started to fold to do the, so I kind of give it, I don't know, train it.
Train your corners.
Train it a little bit.
Train your edges. So
that they all wrap around nicely. So then from there, I like to take my bone folder and kind of run it along the edge there. So it kind of helps train it some more so I don't get any cracking. And I did do closer to 1 inch border. Sometimes a 1/2 inch is enough if you are well practiced. But for somebody that might be just starting out, I would definitely do 1 inch. Just gives you a little more wiggle room when you are creating. So, and then from here, then I like to go and give it another little burnish slowly, making sure it stays on my edge. I'm just going to do that on all 4 sides again. And we're just going to start folding it in. And then you'll see on your corners, you have kind of like a square. We're going to then we're going to cut that out. So, and I do like to add a little glue right along that edge when I'm finishing up here. We'll go ahead and put our tape on the edges, but there we go. So now it's kind of trained. Oh, so you can kind of see on here we have our little corner. So we are going to cut that out and miter it. So I like to go and leave a scissors tip at the edge there so that when you fold it over, they actually pretty much cover up. So we're going to do that on all 4 corners.
Took a quick look, couldn't find ours, but I found this on the shelf.
Okay, so here's that tool from We Are. We do have it in stock. Sam couldn't find ours, but you know, if you see, theirs is a little bit wider than what I left, but ours, it'll work for today, though theirs is probably a better width to leave.
I think this is the one you do for miter in your corner.
Yep. They couldn't see that. This is your little corner miter, so you can then
so you line it up.
You can line it
corner.
on the corner, and that way then you can
draw the line.
Draw the line to cut it off. So
it's a really handy tool. I've used it before, especially for somebody who doesn't make books frequently.
So this is where I like to use my glue. I like to run it right along that edge there, because then I know that it's going to be a good. You see my tape roll? Not that one, the wider one. It's over there.
You left it over here.
I left it over there. Thank you. So this one, then I am just going to run.
You could use a wider piece of score tape, right?
Definitely. Or you can use 2 if you really are that concerned. But I find that usually 1/4 inch is good enough. So I am just going to run my bone folder along that edge again. We're going to take and remove the backing. I am going to actually go up here a little because of I am using 1/4 inch. I'm going to go like that. And center. Way you want to do a little bit of a burnish in between those little areas. And okay, we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. Just like feeling this is like a, we need some chit chat going on here. Any questions for me?
Mm-hmm.
All I see is Diane's good afternoon up there. All right. There again, I'm going to do a quick little burnish here. I put my glue a little too far up that I wanted to. There. And over. Okay, there again, I want to take and do a little bit of a burnish there, or a guide, so that when we fold, it has a guide to know where to fold. All right, and then my corners, it has like a little bit of a, I like to take my nail and just like push it in if it's needs a little guidance there. There it goes. All right. Add our tape again. So this is a technique that I did learn from Ginger Ropp. So if you follow her YouTube, she will, even though she is no longer with us, she still has great tutorials that are up on her YouTube channel, My Sister Scrapper. So corners are, oh, I did pretty good on my corners today. I didn't get too sloppy. Working nicely. Alrighty. And the last piece here. The rest of this process will go pretty quickly. Thank you for refreshing me.
No, that's kind of a weird format on Facebook, so I'm just reformatting a little bit.
All right, so I am there again. I'm just using my fingernail to make sure that this one is bends. It'll make a nice little corner. And there we go. Woo! All right. So now we have basically a wrapped cover. And now we're going to, I did not put, because I wasn't sure once I wrapped it how much of a border I wanted to leave on here. So I did not, I think I'm pretty good here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you cut that so perfectly?
I don't know. I don't really know. So I am going to go ahead and put my adhesive on the bottom of this back side here. And this is probably the trickier piece to put down and keeping it straight. So I'm there again, I'll probably do that little trick. But I also want to make sure that it doesn't bubble in the middle. So I'm going to add some adhesive on around the edges here too. Because it's very frustrating when you're making an album like this and then all of a sudden your middle pages buckle up. The middle of your cover anyways. You could use glue, but there again, you have, all right, so then I'm going to add a couple pieces in the middle here. So yeah, this project, if you are one of those that likes to use tape sparingly, this is not a project for you. This tape is meant to be used. This one's really sticky.
Interesting.
I know some of the times that their other tapes are not as sticky, but this is super. I mean, it hurts my fingers when I'm tearing it off. All right. Now I get to peel all these off. I better burnish them first. This is just really fun, sunny paper. And there it goes. So, is there any comments, questions, concerns? So this Saturday is 5th Saturday. So remember, you need to grab your Scraps of Love tote bags or your t-shirt or aprons, and for your special discounts for being a VIP basic customer, basically, because not everybody knows about 5th Saturdays or what you need to do. All right. Gonna have to get all my tail started on this one. Why? Sometimes I just wonder why it doesn't come up as fast as easy as other times. But it's probably a good thing it doesn't. And boom. All right, so now we're going to lay this over our cover.
Oh, your glue's almost dry.
And we're going to all right, when I feel like it's like a good, okay, I'm going to hold it down and start. It's probably the most nerve-wracking part. Okay. And there again. And pull. I feel, nope, pretty confident here. All right, so, but before I like push it down too deep here, I want to take and using my bone folder, kind of give it a little bit of a score in that spine area, yeah, so that we can kind of train it to fold up, and then we can you don't want to like push it too hard, and you don't want to like push it all the way over, because if you look at a book, it doesn't go all the way over. Neat. All right, and so now then I can go through and burnish after I know
your paper's what needs to be.
Our paper has been trained. Okay. Make sure all of those are stuck. Whew, there we go. We've got our, basically our cover made. Now, from here you can, if you were making actually pages in the spine here, you would actually just cover up to the spine and then add your pages. But we're not adding pages there today. We are going to, my little slip of paper. So this is where our book will slide into. So this is like kind of like the back pocket. And this is just leftover paper from from last video. And we're going to go in and let's see. So this pocket it happened to be 3 7/8, and I cut it to 9 3/8, and we scored a 1/2 inch on the 3 sides. So both short sides and one long side. And then I've added my tear tape, and I'm going to go ahead and miter that corner out again. So that it makes a nice corner. And do the same at the top. And then we're going to place it right there along that edge, like so. Okay, so we're going to do that the same way as we did the other ones. I'm going to peel off my tear tape. All right. You know, I have overlap there a little bit so that you can then stick your corners down. Okay, and I'm going to lay this so. And we're going to just line it up. That was kind of nerve-wracking for a second. So now from here, we can take our back cover and slide it in. And we
How cute is that?
have it as a little cover. Our little pieces will hang out a little bit. If you don't like that, well, then you need to think about that before you cover it. So I'm gonna, and then I guess I'm just gonna leave this in here because I did do another pocket for up on the front. I did it at a diagonal pocket. Basically, I just cut a rectangle that was 5 by 6, and I just put it in my paper trimmer and cut it at an angle. I didn't even measure. And then we're going to score on the long side and the short side, and do the whole little miter of the corner again. And
would you attach a spot for a pen?
You certainly could. I could make like an elastic or a ribbon loop. I would probably stick it maybe almost like on the cover area
before the pocket.
Yeah, I think I would. Just, or you could, depending on your pen you choose, you could maybe make a little loop in the center here. It might be easier just to get one that has a little clip on it,
like the ones right there,
like a little close to my heart.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
That was a long time ago. And then you can choose where you want to put this on your front. I am choosing to line up with my pink. There. And a little off, not too bad. All right, and then from there, you can leave it plain, or you can go through your leftover ephemera from our last time and decorate your front. You could maybe do something on the silhouette or printer, and I'm not going to decorate it today.
Okay.
Because I feel like we're getting a little overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But now you have a little slash pocket here that you could, like if you were using this for your lists of gifts or anything like that, you could then stick your receipts in, or any other little notes you didn't want to maybe leave in your booklet. So anyways, and if you wanted to,
and the best part is when you finish up that notebook, you can
I can
change
take
it out.
this notebook out, and I could put a new notebook in. Like so. If you wanted to add ribbon to tie it closed, I would do that before I added this piece. Because we joined the two pieces, they're not real noticeable, but if you were worried about that, you could, there's really no blue. I would love to use this gingham, but there's really no blue in it. Oh, but there's some pink gingham.
I didn't remember, and I couldn't find the paper out on the floor, so I just winged it.
So you could take and wrap this around on the inside, and you could then tie it here on the outside and make a cute little bow knot. I need another hand to do this, so I don't know whether or not I'm going to actually complete that nicely. No, I'm not. But that gives you an idea. You could then use some ribbon and it could be a little bit wider than this. What else we got there? I would almost use the seam binding, because then that would be fun. She did grab some pink with gold, so it's just another way. But I'm going to give this off to one of the other girls and have them use the leftovers to embellish the front, so that sample will be out on the floor. And there you go. Isn't that so fun?
A great gift.
great hostess gift, Mother's Day gift, just a friend gift, a birthday gift. So, and I like that it's got a nice hardcover on it. So there you go. That is how you do it. Not very difficult. And I don't know, it took us what,
35 minutes.
35 minutes? It's not so bad. But if I was teaching it in a class, it would take longer. But yeah, isn't that fun? And as you use it more, it'll train to stay closed. All right, so thank you for hanging out with me and having lunch or watching later. Remember to comment, like, and share whenever possible. This is going up on our YouTube page, so it will be deleted on Facebook after 30 days, but it will be living on YouTube. So you can go back and watch it at any time.